On today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace your brake lines on your C7 Audi A6 or A7 vehicle. So let's jump into it. Welcome back to the garage, everybody. My name is Cameron. This is Audi C7 owners, and we have another DIY video for you. Today, we're going to be installing a set of braided stainless steel brake lines from JHMotorsports on my Audi A6 here, my C7. Real quick, this is going to be the same whether you've got an S6 S7 with the 6-piston front calipers, or you've got the 3.0T with just your normal brakes up front. If you've got a 4-cylinder with smaller brakes, I think these would be the same. I don't know. Can't verify. But 3.0T, 4.0T, these brake lines are going to be the same. You don't have to specify which ones you want. They fit them all. It's not a hard job to do to swap these lines out. You will have to bleed at the end, and that's a little complicated. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But let's talk about tools that you're going to need. Not many. One, you're going to need a drain pan. You're going to need some gloves. You want to protect your hands from liquid because brake fluid can be corrosive. You're going to need an 11mm open box wrench and a 14mm open box wrench. If you don't have an 11mm wrench, because a lot of sets for whatever reason, they skip from 10 straight to 12mm, then you can use a 7/16 open box wrench instead. You're going to need some brake clean to clean up some things like that. Definitely you want to have some towels, either blue towels or, some kind of a rag, things like that. But yeah, not really any kind of special equipment except for bleeding. You might need a pressure bleeder. If you don't have one of those, you're gonna have to do it the old school way with a friend, and that can be a little complicated. But yeah, gonna reposition myself to the rear wheel where we're gonna start and show you guys what to do. Before heading back to the rear part of the car, I just want to point out we're going to leave this cap on. We want to create suction on here so it doesn't just pour brake fluid out when we disconnect the brake line. So make sure this is good and on tight. Before we get started, let's just do an overview of what you need to pay attention to here in the rear wheel. We are on the passenger side, or I'm sorry, we're on the driver's side here. You can see I've got my drip pan down there, and I've got my 11mm and 14mm box wrenches. First thing that's super obvious is where the brake line connects to your OEM hard line here. You've got that 11mm nut sitting right there, this little bracket spacer thing, and then you can see that solid piece of metal there. That's actually the top of the brake line. So when you undo this, this will come loose, and this will just pull straight out. Before you undo this one, though, you want to actually loosen the brake line where it connects to the caliper, which is right there where my finger's pointing. That's your 14mm end. You just want to get in there and crack it loose. You don't need to actually use a box wrench to completely take it out of the caliper, because once you get this removed, you're just going to use the brake line to unscrew it out of the caliper. Once again, as soon as you crack these, though, either one, it's going to start dripping brake fluid, so make sure you've got the drain pan down below in the right areas, and watch, it'll run down lines and stuff. It's going to create a mess. Other things to pay attention to. The mount, the bushing here for your line, that's what protects it. It goes into this like metal bracket here. Hit it with some kind of lubricant, and that'll help work its way out. You just want to grab on both sides and pull it all the way up. Should come out. It might be stuck a little bit, but just hit it with your purse. It'll eventually come out. Pop that out. And then on each side, you're going to have one electrical connection on each side. This has an extra one for the brake burst sensor, so you need to remove any kind of electrical connectors here, because that's going to allow us to get room to get our 14mm box wrench in there and loosen it up. So let me get gloves on and we'll get started on this. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure it out, but the shorter brake lines go in the rear of the car. Camera angles for wheel wells are always weird, so I hope this looks all right to you guys. But removing these, I like to use a pick. It's just a lot easier to manipulate these things here, so I'll get a pick underneath the tongue. Sorry, I'm gonna get my hand in the way, whether you guys like it or not. There we go, one. Just push it behind somewhere, just anywhere out of the way that you can tuck it somewhere. This thing can just rotate out and completely move out there, so got that. Then we can get this one out of here. And once again, push that out in the back as well. That's going to allow us to have access to the 14mm side of the brake line. And once again, we're just cracking this loose. So let's see here. I'm trying to figure out, make sure I do this the right way. Don't want to over tighten and break something. So there we go. That's loose there. Okay, got it loose. You can see there it wants to spring back just because of the tension of the brake line. So that's all we need there. It's loose. Make sure that drain pan is underneath. Now we are going to take the 11mm and loosen up the nut for the other end here. So, like I said, once it gets loose, it is going to start to lose fluid. You can see that it's already doing that. Once you get this to a certain point, you can use your finger to loosen this the rest of the way up, but that spring clamp kind of keeps tension on it, so it takes a little bit. Okay, just removing it with my actual hand here. Now, it's going to drip a little bit. I'm not going to pull it out of the brake line yet because I need to pull the line out of that bushing. I'm going to go ahead and reach under here and pull this up and out. And you couldn't see that, but I just kind of just literally both sides of that bushing, grabbed it and pulled it up. So now it is completely removed. We're going to take this, we're going to dip it down into the drain pan so it drains whatever is in the line out here. And now we're just going to take this and we are going to rotate it to unscrew it from the caliper. All right, it's out. We're going to immediately dip it into the drain pan, shake it out a little bit. And now we're going to just set it somewhere safe in the side where it's not going to drip on anything that actually matters. When it comes to installing your new brake line, do not set this into the bracket yet. Just leave that on there. And these can slide up and down the brake line. The first thing you have to do is you have to attach the 14mm end to the caliper. So we're going to run it through here. We're going to get it started by hand. And we're going to, just like we removed it, we're going to spin the actual brake line to tighten it up until it gets as tight as we can by hand. And then we will tighten it with the 14mm box wrench. You do have to get the right angle on it, and it's not too hard to do on the rears. You got a pretty much a straight line shot here to get it in. So give me one moment. Okay, as this comes to a point where it gets tight, we don't want to attach the other end yet. We definitely want to get this all the way torqued down because you don't want to have any tension on this end by plugging this in and then torquing this down. So once it gets hand tight and you can do it no more, get your 14mm box wrench back here and go snug. Do not over tighten these. You don't want to strip one of these out of a caliper. So what I like to do is tighten it to where it feels good and tight, but not over tight. And then once we're done and we add brake fluid to it, if I see a drip, I'll tighten it up at that point. Now it's time to attach this end. This is super simple. This has a little bit of wiggle room. We're just going to push this up all the way up, and there's a little bit of play here. You want to make sure that you get it as far up as you can. Set this in here. Tighten this up by hand as best as you can. Once it gets to a point where you can't, then get that 11mm box wrench back out and tighten this up once again until it's good and snug. Do not over tighten. You do not want to twist any of these lines and break anything. You want to make sure that this bottom is flush to the mounting bracket. If there's a gap there, that means something's not seated correctly. So make sure that is all the way up and hold it up while you tighten it. Okay, once it starts to really tighten down, see it just pulled up a little bit more. But once it starts to tighten down, it'll get to a point where it wants to stop. That's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to dry it off. I will spray it with some brake clean. That way I know whenever I go to add fluid to this, if it starts dripping, I need to tighten a little bit more. But that feels good and snug right now. Okay, to finish this up, in terms of getting this bushing set in correctly, I've got a little bit of spray lubricant here. We're going to just hit the bracket that it sits on a little bit. We're going to spray the actual bushing itself a little bit. There's a cut in the top of this bushing. You might not be able to see it really well, but that's how you can pop it on and off. And I like to aim that towards the top and just set that in there. And then once you're done with that, do not forget to attach all of your various wiring harnesses here. 1 and 2. After everything is put back together, I'm just going to spray some brake clean on everything to clean off any residual brake fluid. And then we'll let that dry before we go to bleed everything. That way, if we have a leak, it'll be really obvious to us. So, brake line in the rear is done. All right, so now we move on to the front brake line. So first thing I want you to do is pay attention and take note of how your brake line is routed. You can see where it connects to the back there. And real quick, I've already tucked it away. Your fender liner has this like lip here that sits out and over where the 11mm nut is. And that's gonna get in the way when you're trying to loosen it up. So just take it and bend it back behind it. But take a look at how your brake line is ran. It's gonna come straight down. It's gonna go around the front of the strut. And it's going to have a bushing and a bracket there. It's going to have a bushing and the bracket on the actual control arm, neck, knuckle, whatever that is. What do you want to call it? So we're going to have to remove those two. Then that's going to come back around and it's going to connect to your caliper somewhere. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the line out of the brackets. We're going to remove both of those bushings so that it's free. Then we're going to, once again, crack loose the part of the brake line that connects to your caliper. So that's the 14 mil there. And once that's loose, we're going to remove the 11 millimeter nut up there. Now, when this one drips, it's going to drip down the line and it's going to fall into your control arm. Just like all that dirt and debris, it's going to accumulate there and then it's going to drip. So just as a heads up, a little bit of warning. Now, the big difference here is once we get that line loose, we are going to have to route it over here to be able to spin it out of the caliper. So you're going to have to get creative there. Just be careful where you're splashing brake fluid. But I do apologize for the lighting and the angles on this one. It's going to be a little difficult just given the nature of how much room or how little room I have to work with. But we're going to go and jump into it. Like I said, first things first, we're going to pop these bushings out of the brackets. They can be in there pretty tough, so you're going to have to work on them a little bit. I did spray them down with a little bit of spray lubricant. Got the rear one out. This front one always fights me. All right, we got those loose now. We're going to crack the 14 millimeter end of the brake line, the one that connects to the caliper first with the box wrench, and then we'll start to remove this thing. All right, we're gonna loosen up this line now. Real quick, this is your brake pad wear sensor for the driver's side. You only have those wear sensors on the driver's side, so won't have to deal with that on the passenger side. All right, so on the front, you're gonna push away, whereas on the rear, we pulled to us just because they're connected in different ways. So we just loosened that up. Once again, you can see the tension if I try and keep doing it, but we're not going to. Only need it loose. Now, we're going to take the 11 mil box wrench, and we're going to loosen this nut here. Now, this is tight working quarters over here. I'm trying to show you guys. It's the same exact thing as the rear, so you guys aren't gonna miss much if you can't really see it. I just wanna show you what it looks like once it loosens up. All right, we've got this loose from the hard line. Now, like I said, this is a little tricky here. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this over here, and now we have this, and we have to angle this in a way that we can rotate it and spin it out of the caliper. And I know my arm's in the way, but it's a pain in the butt. So what I'm doing is I'm using my right hand to spin at the caliper base. I'm using my left hand to spin the rest of the line here. I am really sorry for the terrible angle, but it is a pain in the butt. Well, not really a pain in the butt, it's just cumbersome. I don't know. Now, when you release it from the caliper, a good amount of brake fluid is going to want to come out, so make sure you angle it towards that drip pan. So, there we go. We'll pull this all the way out. All right, now it's time to install the new line. You need to get your head in here, and it is going to be more helpful to you if you can turn your wheel and have a better angle to get this installed. But before you run the line, you want to make sure you straighten it back up because you need to make sure you have good tolerances. Once again, these bushings slide up and down on the lines, but we're going to install those last. Okay, we got it started in there, and that's probably the hardest part just because the angle. And what I did was I bent the line down towards underneath the rotor, and that helped me be able to get some maneuvering power on it, so to speak. We have got it in there, and so we need to route it the correct way. And you can see you've got some room here to do all this. So here's your line. We're going to go around this way. We're going to go around the front of the strut like this. And then we're going to go up. And remember, just for now, by hand, we're going to get this connected real quick. And I know it's, once again, not the greatest angle for you guys, but you see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we're just going to spin it down by hand. Once again, make sure the bottom of this flange here from your brake line is flush up against that bracket. All right, we're going to get this tightened down, and then we'll set the bushings. Okay, so we got that tightened down all the way. I have sprayed the bushings with some lubricant, some spray lubricant, as well as the brackets. These can be kind of a pain, so what I like to do is I get a wrench. I'll just set this right on top of the bushing itself to give me leverage to just push down onto the bracket and get it in there. All right, so we have got it all done here. You can see nice and cleaned up already, sprayed down with some brake clean, got it routed. I will say on this side, those brackets were a pain in the butt, or those bushings. I got some actual white lithium grease to get them on there. I think maybe one of my brackets was bent a little bit, but we eventually got them on there. We've got enough slack through there, and it's nice and secure to the caliper. Before you do anything, after you fully tightened in your brake lines, before you bleed or anything, you want to go ahead and get someone to jump in the car, unlock the steering, and turn your wheels hard over left and then hard over right. And on both sides of the car, on the front, you want to make sure that there's no tension or snagging of your brake lines. Make sure they're routed correctly and set and spaced appropriately in those bushings. Remember, the line can move in those bushings. So start on one side, go hard over left, hard over right, make sure it looks good. If it looks like something's getting tight or getting pulled up against the suspension components in any way, you want to adjust that, and then go do the same thing on the other side of the vehicle. Once you've made sure your tolerances are correctly and there's nothing interfering with the brake lines, it's time to bleed the brake system, because you're gonna have to do that since you've introduced air to it. I'm not doing that in this video just because it would make it way too long, but I do have a link below for bleeding your brakes. So check that out in the description or the pinned comment, and we'll run through it on that. Now that we have the stainless steel brake lines installed, let's talk about why you want to upgrade to stainless steel brake lines. First off, your rubber brake lines, especially under heavy braking, can expand. And when they expand, that means they can absorb pressure. And when they absorb pressure, that means less braking ability for your car, because that pressure is going into the brake lines and it's not being transferred to your actual brake pads. So that is something that could be super sketchy if you encounter that under heavy braking conditions. Another hazard of OEM rubber lines over time in the life of the vehicle is that water can permeate through the rubber and contaminate your brake fluid. This is obviously going to cause that brake fluid to reach a boiling point much quicker, which is going to obviously give you worse braking conditions. So that's a safety issue, and the stainless steel brake lines eliminate that possibility by having a nice cover over the stainless steel line, so it's going to keep water out and prevent your brake fluid from being contaminated. So beyond just being more reliable, something else that these upgraded stainless steel brake lines are going to do for you is provide a much firmer pedal for you. This means better feedback under harsher braking conditions. So whether you do track, whether you're doing drag strip stuff, or even you just like to bomb canyons and mountain roads, this is going to be much better for you in regards to having more control over your vehicle. Besides all the upgrades that come with the stainless steel brake line kit, something else to consider is longevity. If you're planning on keeping your car for a long time like I have, or maybe your car is already pretty high mileage and it's time to upgrade the brake lines, $130 for this kit from JHMotorsports is a no-brainer. It's just insurance on a critical safety system on the vehicle. I've been really happy with my kit. I've had it on there for a while, and I even noticed an upgrade in pedal feel from the ECS stainless steel brake line kit that I had beforehand. These seem to just be a little bit better quality than those, and they're obviously a league above the OEM rubber lines. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Shout out to JHMotorsports for sending this out to us so that we could get them on the car and see how they feel. If you guys would like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next DIY video.